Since the creation of man, we have been captivated by the stars. From the Tower of Babel to the skyscrapers of New York, mankind has pursued the heavens. It's human nature to adventure, explore, and conquer. Space travel is now in its infancy, but as we ponder what the future looks like, we get a glance of what might become of our lives out in the distance. And it looks a lot like Fortnite? Just kidding, gamers. Welcome to the Cycle Frontier. Welcome to the channel, gamers. My name is Tacti. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Cycle Frontier, a game that is definitely onto something when it comes to the general game design and the gameplay loop. Some have called it Tarkov in space, and it pretty much is, but it's nowhere near the complexity of that game, so it's more of a Tarkov light in space. But this extraction-style looter-shooter is what I think is going to be the wave of the future, and this game is on it early. I was planning to show some gameplay, a couple raids or something like that, but I'm a flaming ball of dingo dung at the game. So instead, I'll do what I do best when it comes to games, and I'll give you information. What is the Cycle Frontier? How does it feel? And will it be worth your time when it gets here? Really quick though, before we get into that, I want to welcome the latest channel member, Black Strays. Thank you, dude. You're awesome. Alright, so let's start with what the game is in the general gameplay loop. Right now, the game is having an open playtest, so I'll link this game down below if you want to take a look at it on your own. You can try to get into this playtest. I think if you got into the last one, you're able to get into this one automatically. Not 100% sure, but go ahead and try it out. But like I said, this game is a looter shooter with PvP and PvE elements, with the general purpose of finding better loot, upgrading things like your weapons, armor, living quarters, and other various things. The game is going to be free to play when it launches, and it looks to be expecting to launch this year. So that's a plus. But along with that free to play model comes things like battle passes and possible boosters to skip the grind. I'll touch on those here in a little bit. You as a player have a general hub site here. You can prepare here to drop into the map, get your gear sorted, buy gear, sell things, check out the quests. You've got several different factions for these quests that will offer unique weapons and armors and general upgrades depending on what you do for them. These factions allow you to progress through their rankings to acquire a little bit higher tier loot. To go along with that, you can also craft items with loot that you find in the raids. Once you're geared up to your liking, you would drop into the hot zone and do more looting to complete quests and get more loot and upgrade everything so you can be the richest gamer in this little universe. Now when you drop into the map, you exit these tiny pods here. They remind me a little bit of Hazard Zone. What Hazard Zone could have been. Anyway, you take a look at the map here and you see extraction zones. They're marked by these little red marks here. In order to extract, you've got to call in the extraction plane and then leave. And once you leave, you're taken back to home base where you can sell your loot, use it for crafting or upgrades or whatever the heck you want to do with it. Throughout the raid, you'll see numerous hostile monsters ranging from how did they even survive as a species? Oh, he's gonna explode. He's chasing you. Run, run, run. To the, hey, didn't you star on the show Stranger Things? I'm just gonna, yep, it can come in.
Yep.
All these monsters will vary in health and difficulty. It also depends on which map you drop into, because currently there are two different maps, one's a little bit harder than the other, but both are going to have PvP elements. Speaking of PvP elements, that aspect of the game will allow you to squad up with others and dominate the map against other teams. You can head in, guns blazing, and take out the first guy you see, or, more importantly, make friends.
Hey, I can talk to someone, Hi.
Yes, local VoIP is a thing. To combat gamers and non-gamers alike, you've got a weapon system that is fairly simple, but adds just enough customization to make it a little bit personal. There are unique weapons from each faction, and with most of the weapons, you can apply some sort of performance modulators, whether that's grips, optics, magazines, whatever that might be. There's a lot to work for and a lot of different builds that you can use. And when you do get those PvP kills, if you're ever able to get those, obviously you can snatch up their loot as well. This also means your gear is at risk, though there is an insurance system involved just to be safe. Now, as far as how it plays out, it can be a whole lot of fun. It's actually very, very difficult. If you've seen any of my Tarkov videos, you'll know I am definitely not the king of this extraction style gameplay. However, I still find it very, very fun. It really gets my heart pounding, and I really, really enjoy these styles of games. I just wish there was a more modern take on it that wasn't Tarkov, because Tarkov is more of an RPG style and not everybody's gunplay is on the same level. But that's neither here nor there. A couple of concerns I have with this game. Number one, the monetization. They recently released a blog post about monetization and how that's going to look. There are 3 different currencies in the game. One you can purchase and one you can get with the battle pass. And then the other one is just through gameplay there. So you're going to be able to progress a little bit quicker in this game if you buy the tokens. One of the things that the premium currency can do is speed up things a little bit. There are some timers on some things that you create or things that you upgrade in your room. But either way, we'll see how that looks when it launches. This doesn't give exactly what's going to happen, but I'll also link that down below if you want to read through that and see exactly how they want to do things. With these indie devs, I always want to try to give the benefit of the doubt, and I know that there are some different things that they are trying to do when it comes to monetization. There's no way you can just have a free game. You have to in some way promote some sort of purchase from the game, and not everybody's a skins person, right? So again, we'll just have to see. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but hopefully they'll keep it clean. Another concern I have is going to be the entry gap. I don't know if the developers have talked much about this at all in their devlogs. I haven't read through all those, but as you progress, you're obviously going to have access to more gear and more money and better equipment, better armor, better weapons. With this is going to come a more difficult entry-level experience. I would probably say the smartest way to release this game is maybe the first few raids or the first few hours that you're in the game, they'll be locked to a certain skill set, and then at a certain point, it would probably be good to just unlock the game so anybody can drop into a raid with anybody else and best man wins. I think the biggest problem is this is going to be a free-to-play experience. People aren't expecting something super hardcore to play. If they're going to try to sell the battle pass, they're going to have to at least ease people into the game a little bit. Those free-to-play titles just have to have a little bit more gentle learning curve. Not because that's the best way and the most fun way to do things or the most fair way to do things, but they've got to keep people's attention because they've got to make money somehow. Like I said, this game is definitely onto something. I wish someone would do a more modern take on this. Hunt Showdown does a really, really good job at this. I just don't enjoy that game all that much because it doesn't have more modern weapons. But that's more of a personal problem, not really a general rule for everyone. Overall, I enjoyed the game. I think if you really want to dive into the lore of this game and spend some time learning the drop locations and where all the loot is located, it could be a really, really fun game. As for me, it's probably just not going to be for me. I prefer the realistic graphics, but this was fun for a few days. A quick reminder, if you want to try it out, it's linked down below. I think it goes until April 4th, so enjoy that. But that's all for this one. I hope you feel like a much more informed person for the future launch of this game later this year. Until the next one, be bold, be courageous, stay tactical.